Ja, ich würde sagen, wir gehen zur Nurse. I was always took good care of my health. And even better care at the times when something starts to hurt badly. So without hesitation, I made my way to the infirmary. But right in front of the door I stopped as if some mysterious force was holding me. I had absolutely no desire to face the camp nurse without any urgent need, but on the other hand I almost did a great deed yesterday defending the infirmary. So in some sense she owed me. I took heart and opened the door. Hi, Pioneer. Hello. I'm sorry that I was so late yesterday. It was no problem at all. Why have you come? Are you sick? She smiled slyly. Well, I got my feet a bit. You got a bit what? My feet. I gave a stupid answer. Okay, show me. I sat on the couch and took my boots off. How did you manage that? I will better keep silent about what happened near the washstands. Well, okay, never mind. Wait a second. She rummaged in a drawer and took out a big red pill with a cross-shaped notch from a vial. And what is that for? I was disturbed by the size of the pill and its strangely shape. They are broken in halves, usually, and not in quarters. This is to make the amputation of your legs unnecessary. What? Oh. Sie hat wirklich Heterochromie, Dude. Was ist los mit dieser Nurse? Und was ist los gerade? Ich habe jetzt so viele Möglichkeiten, Thumbnails zu machen. Und da ich mich noch nicht entscheiden kann, werde ich jetzt hier einfach so... So. Okay, reicht auch schon. Nothing. Don't be afraid, Pioneer. You'll take it and it will all be alright. And this pill. Why does it look like that? That's for patients who refuse to take medicines temporarily. We screw it into them with a screwdriver then. I didn't dare to ask where they were being screwed in actually. And now, try to bear it a bit. She took a big pack of cotton wool, wrapped a butt with it, and applied plenty of iodine to it. I braced myself for the torments of hell. I moaned quietly. But my trust in this method is disinfection was much higher than in the odd pill, so I had to withstand the burning. Now it's done. I put on my boots and tried to walk. My feet were still hurting, but the sharp pain was gone. Thank you. Don't mention it. Drop in any time, Pioneer. I said goodbye and left the infirmary. My health problem was solved. It's the right time to eat now. The day has started and I've gone through so many things already. But I did it and now have legitimate grounds to fill myself up. Today I wasn't the last one, so I could choose a free table. Lunch included pea soup and mashed potatoes with fish. It was a major disappointment to me as I don't eat fish in any form and hence will get fewer calories than usually. Soon Slavya and Lena come to my table. Can we? She smiled nicely. Yeah, sure. I stood up and pulled out a chair for her. Please. I was in excellent mood at that moment. Enjoy your meal. Saying that, Lena began staring at me and continued for some time, but then, after realizing how odd she looked, switched to her plate. You too. Do we have any plans for today, Semyon? Nope. I gave her an honest answer, and as indeed I had no plans. Excepting for searching for answers, but that was more like a global goal. Do you want to take a boat ride to the island with us? The island? Well, I think I've seen it from the pier. For what? Olga asked us to gather some strawberries. There are a lot of strawberries there, and they're so delicious. could imagine the waste without even eating it, just by looking at Slavya's face. Strawberries. And what are those for? I don't know, but it's indeed a great idea. Well, indeed it is. Moreover, I haven't been to the island yet. Yeah, sure. Es hat immer diesen konzentrierten Blick. Within minutes we were already standing at the pier. Well, here's the boat. Hang on, I'll go and fetch the pedals now. I was left face to face with Lena. Do you like strawberries? Well, not really. But they're tasty. Also mag sie doch. Lena smiled. I see. I didn't know what to say next, how to continue the conversation. If Slavya didn't come back, we could probably sit here till the evening without saying a word. Here you go. She handed me a pair of hefty pedals. Yeah, thanks. Alter, diese Zeichnungen sind so scheiße. Ohne Witz hätte der Sprite-Zeichner einfach nicht alles übernehmen können. Auch wenn es vielleicht viel gewesen wäre. Na gut. We got into the boat. I untied it, pushed it off the shore and tried to start paddling. And where are we heading to? Right there. She pointed her finger at the island. That island is named the closest one. I wonder what captain gave it such an original name. Well, the island is indeed close to the shore. Aye, Captain. If only I would know what was waiting for me ahead. I wasn't an experienced as oarsman. I rowed a boat once or twice in my entire life. It was less than half a mile to the island, but we were making our way zigzags thanks to my skills. By approximately the middle of the tip, my arms hurt so badly that I dropped the pedals to get some rest. Well, aren't there any strawberries anywhere else? I mean, in more accessible places. But the tastiest ones grow there. Slavya gave me a puzzled look. Is it hard for you to row alone? Lena, unlike Slavya, understood everything straight away. Oh, it's nothing. Anyway, I couldn't let a fragile girl help me. The rest of the race I spent concentrating on staying alive while getting to the island. Slavya and Lena discussed something, but I wasn't listening. That was too much for me. At least, we arrived. Dude, das ist echt nicht weit. Completely exhausted, I got out on the shore and looked at the boathouse. It seemed so far away that I felt like a first person on the moon watching the earth rise. Here you go. Slavya handed me a basket. It was a small island, barely 100 meters long, and it looked more like a birch grove with even rows of trees covered in its entire surface. A calm green sea spread beneath our feet was wide, causing lonely waves on its surface from time to time. The island looked like a lost paradise. It's no wonder that the most delicious strawberries grow just here. We've got to split up. That way we'll do the job faster. Yeah, sure. But there are only 2 baskets, said Lena humbly. Oh, you're right, my bad. So how are we going to split up then? Och ja, Slavya ist ein gutes, eigenständiges Mädchen. Ich möchte Lena nicht immer alleine lassen, deswegen gehen wir mit ihr. Let me go with you. Let's go. Okay, that's fine. Slavya grabbed the second basket and ventured to the opposite side of the island. Well, let's go. Yeah. Lena smiled. Just pay attention. Don't leave a single berry behind. You too. So it was harvest time. Indeed, the strawberries here were delicious. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild grown, the berries were close to garden ones in size and had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Lena followed me closely as we had only one basket for the both of us. I felt like a real mushroom picker, examining each shrub, carefully pawing the grass. Well, you're much better than me. Am I? Frankly, I'm not even counting them. Yeah, right, you are. The basket was already half full. You must enjoy nature, right? I do. The bright sun rays pierced the treetops and blinded me for a second. I sat down on the ground and leaned against a tree. Still, it's so beautiful here. Oh. Lena sat down next to me. So close that our elbows touched. Yeah. We just sat and enjoyed the moment. The moment. It seemed like time stood still. The wind gently shook the tree leaves. Some bugs lazily hopped around the grass and splashed of sunlight played on the faraway water surface. Ich wollte gerade sagen, wo seine Hand hingeht, aber die ist ja... Naja, da ist auch nicht besser. Lena put a hat on my shoulder. I was surprised at first, but then I heard her regular breathing and thought that it's just a matter of course. Probably she felt drowsy and wanted to take a quick nap. I just sat there, didn't think of anything for a few minutes. But then words started crossing my mind with ultrasonic speed. Lena. So close. Sleeping. So warm. So gentle. Feelings. I gazed at her. She had such a serene, such a tranquil look on her face that it seemed that right now she's not here, but in some kind of a better world. I don't know what would have happened the next moment if I didn't hear the voice of Slavya. Semyon! Lena! I shook my head from side to side a few times to come to my senses. Lena started to wake up. She opened her eyes and gave me an empty look. Have a nice dream? Huh? Suddenly realizing that she had dozed off, leaning on my shoulder, Lena blushed. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. Slavya came over to us and Lena rushed to get up. So, how much have you got? I sighed. That's not a lot. Her basket was filled with strawberries to the brim. Well, it's enough anyway. It's time to get back. I grabbed the basket and headed back to the boat. So wie groß ist denn dieser basket? Holy shit. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate on rowing and ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive. Oh. Oh, dude. Der war nice, du also. Jesus fucking dicks, dude. As the first trip hadn't gone without consequences, and now my head started to hurt after only a few sweeps of the oars. Oh. Having tied up the boat, I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavya and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was so hard for you. Yes. Never mind. It's fine. I'll just lie here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay, then get those baskets to Olga, please. We have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at that moment, just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavya put the baskets full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the rowing, they felt like cement bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 50 meters to have a rest. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat on the deck chair with difficulty. Olga! Olga! I've got presents for you! There was no answer. I barely managed to get up and enter the cabin. Irgendwie arbeitet mein Gehirn gerade nicht so schnell wie meine Augen. Oh, that's okay. There was nobody there. If you don't need them, it's up to you. I lay down on the deck chair and fell asleep. What the fuck, dude? I had a weird dream about a strawberry race. I was rowing a boat with my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge berries that were chasing me. Oh, mein Rücken juckt. Ugh. My hands were failing me and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Semyon! Semyon! I woke up. Olga was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I'm just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. We make a cake out of them. I see. Well, that makes sense. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shurik. And it's all thanks to you. It was clear that getting the strawberries wasn't the last thing left to do. And why? Please tell me. I'm such a hero. Why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. We are missing yeast, flour and sugar. And need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can deal with it on their own somehow? I asked pitifully. Of course they can't. All of them are busy. And you're the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. While her words were pretty partly true, that doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So write it down. You'll get yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Wait. I have no time, I'm in a hurry. Good luck. She smiled and slightly left. Nein, she smiled slightly and left. Jesus fucking Christ. Of course there are a lot of strange things in this camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library? And sugar? No, it's way beyond my comprehension. I spat on the floor. I don't want to, and I will not believe this. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I will not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls will appear here right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe to hell with this cake? I weighed my options for some time. No, if such a major plan of Olga fell through, I will be in for a world of hurt. And it will complicate both my life in the camp and my and my search for answers, which I stopped for quite a while. It seems I have no choice. Gehen wir mal zum nächsten hier. If every other place on the cake ingredient list made at least some sense to me, then flour from the library made none. I thought hard about who would put in the library and why, but couldn't find any sane explanation after all. Given Senya's harsh nature, I would better knock first. Open! Senya peered at me closely from behind her glasses. What do you want? Don't think anything weird, but I need I didn't want to look like an idiot, decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga said that it's here. I understand that it sounds strange to keep the flour in the library, but I was sent to you, and it's needed for a cake to celebrate Shurik's rescue. Yes, I have the flour. What's so strange about it? Senya replied with surprise. After that second I felt like I was being hit in the head with a heavy weight, and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library? Sure, what's so strange about it? We're in Wonderland. I'm Alice. Now I'm gonna eat a magic mushroom and I'll back home. Hey. Yeah. I was daydreaming. Wait here. I'll be right back. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I folded my hands and started waiting. A moment later, the sound of a trapdoor groaning on its hinges reached me. Hey, you need some help? I inquired loudly. I'll deal with it. Senya barked out to me. She seems to be in the basement, so I'll have to wait a little. Okie dokie. A few minutes passed, but Senya still hadn't returned. I was starting to get worried when the door was suddenly flung open and Alisa came into the library. I looked surprised too. She looked surprised too, seeing me here. What are you doing here? I'm not allowed to be here, I said rudely to her. Alisa was clearly a bit overwhelmed. What do I care? She snorted and headed to Senya's table. And why are you here then? Alisa measured me with her eyes carefully and almost opened her mouth to say something, but then seemed to change her mind and turned away, hiding her hands behind her back. Returning a book? I blurted the first thing off top of my head. It's none of your business, she replied with a hint of hesitation. What book is it? Alisa was silent. Oh, come on, let me see it. I wonder if Miss High Voltage Keep Away reads. It's none of your business. Her voice was even less confident. Okay, I don't insist or anything. In fact, I was quite interested to find out what Alisa was reading. Moreover, I was quite amused to see a book in her hands. TV, movies, or computer. If one were available here, all these things seemed to be much more appropriate entertainment for a girl like her. But she had a book instead. Das wäre rude und würde uns vermutlich nicht weiterbringen, deswegen stay on guard. Curiosity killed the cat. Anyway, it's Alisa, and it means it could quickly turn into a total mess. Plus, I still have ingredients to collect. Well, I'll come later. Alisa left the library quickly without looking at me. It got me thinking. What could this book could be about if she was so ashamed of it? And ashamed Alisa and something extraordinary by itself? But Alisa ashamed about a book? But what's the point of guessing now? There's no way to find anything out. War es vielleicht ein Buch über Liebe? Oder Bumserei? Wer weiß. Finally, a semi-deep groan rang out, reaching each and every corner of the library. Ugh! Grab it! I passed by the bookshelves and beheld the perspiring librarian sitting near the trapdoor, leading into the basement with a small sack next to her. Well, they might have some sort of storehouse down here. Thanks. I took the sack and left the library. Thank goodness. It wasn't too heavy, so I carried it down to Olga's cabin without too much effort. Gut. Dann gehen wir als nächstes zum Clubhaus. It feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. In den Mieten rumstolpern die ganze Nacht lang, das war gar nichts. Das ist schon vergessen. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I would even forgotten to think about how awkward it must be look for sugar here. What the fuck are you guys doing? Shuriks and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of a robot, or at least the body of one. Moreover, this robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about purpose of such device for luminaries of camp cybernetics. Even though the design looked practically workable, I had my doubts about the robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But I seemed to enjoying the process more than the end result itself. And it was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism or jokes. They were walking towards the goal without paying attention to others, who would call it unrealistic, even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing then... What? Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys. I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Samuel, come in, we're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but, well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel like that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person. Something he can use in the right moment. Sugar. I need sugar. An image from an ancient video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit like a builder or something cried out with all of its 5 pixel stature, "Gold! We need more gold!" We got it. Sorry. Ah doch, das hat er gesagt. Said Electronic calmly. Why would you want it? I felt that I shouldn't explain to Shurik that they want to bake a cake for him. So I shouldn't spoil the surprise. Oh, I don't know. Olga's told me to get some. Okay, hang on. Electronic disappeared behind the door into the next room. And why do we have sugar here? Why not in the canteen? When the food truck came the last time, it was the last thing to unload. Schon wieder so Blick in die Ferne. And given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort. That's reasonable, isn't it? The door opened, revealing an Electronic hauling a huge bag behind him. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. Well, thanks, but I don't need it all. But where will we put it? Electronic gave me a surprised look. We don't have a place for it. You asked for sugar, so take it. It seems that his previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. Maybe you help me then? It's not that far to carry. We're busy. He pointed his hand at the robot. I gazed at Shurik. He owed me after all. He hesitated and then looked away in shame. I sighed, took the bag and headed to the door. Thanks anyway, I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after a mere 20 meters, I had to put it back down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. Oh, dude. Ich weiß, wie es ist, 20 Kilo Säcke rumzuschleppen. Und es ist verdammt schwer. On the one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, even such a distance with this payload on my shoulder, or alternately in my hands, or on my legs, or under my arm, or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. As I resigned myself to move in minor sprints, with prolonged pauses between them, so I could get there by night at least, I heard a voice behind me. Maybe I could help you. I saw Lena in front of me. I don't think you can. It was one of those moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. I can bring a handcart. A handcart. Why didn't I think of that myself? Yes, that would be great. Bäh. Dieses Gesicht. Das ist neu. Aber es bringt ihre Brüste zur Geltung. Wait here. I will be right back. She smiled and ran in the direction of the square. What will I do without her? It's good that Lena isn't always that shy and can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think she seemed quite unusual now. With no trace of shyness on her face and actually no complete opposite, smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary by itself, but getting it from Lena. A few minutes later she came back with a smallish handcart. I put it back on it. Thanks. Don't mention it. She blushed. She blushed and looked down. Oh, the Lena we all know is back. So, I'll go then. Yes, see you. And thank you again. I shouted after her. Sometimes I felt like there are two different people living inside of Lena. But the second one, confident, happy and sometimes even bold, only appears when she talks to me. Or am I making things up again?